We are back with author and educator Tamara Chilver. She's going to show us some creative ways to make learning fun for your kids. Now, in our last segment, you showed the parents, how to make learning more fun and interesting with games that they already have in their homes, like Life and Monopoly and Connect 4. Now you're going to show them some creative ways that they can actually make these games themselves.
Yes, because
very cheaply too.
Yes. I want to show parents that they can be using materials at home and use them in a creative approach to create their own games.
Oh, okay.
And these are just some games that I've created on my own with my own children, and I just wanted to share with you.
All right.
And the first one we're going to do is just excellent for reading and spelling skills. And when you want to practice your spelling words with your child, for instance, you can have your child write their spelling words 2 times each on construction paper, squares of construction paper, or index cards. Or if you want to practice reading skills, you can do sight words.
Right.
And then after they write their words 2 times each, you can play a game of concentration with them. And every time your child is playing concentration, like I would just get a point here, every time they're flipping the cards over.
Like this says in.
Right.
And that's and
So,
that's the.
Right. And I just did sight words for this. But every time your child is flipping the cards over, they're learning how to spell the words and read the words. And then later.
And they become real quick with it too.
Yeah.
Just like in.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
later
cool.
on during the week, you can use these and play a game of Go Fish with them. But the idea is, instead of just doing spelling words, a lot of parents, they practice their spelling words by calling the words out loud. And that's not actively involving your child in the learning process.
No, it's boring.
Yes.
It's very boring.
Right.
Yeah.
So just play a game with
redundant.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. And for math, I have a bunch of dice right here, and I just love dice because there's so many creative ways you can teach with dice. And
they come in these cool shapes
I
too,
know.
in different colors.
You can buy the big fuzzy dice. You can buy, these I just got at the dollar store, and they're colored dice. And these dice right here, the dots are different colors. I like the foam dice because if you have a glass top table, or if you have a wooden table that dents easily, you can just roll those in the foam, and they're quiet too.
And how do we play with these?
Okay. Well, you can play first an addition game by rolling the dice and say I would have a 5 and a 2. You could say 5 plus 2 equals 7. And then I would have 7 points. And if your child can't add the numbers already, then you can count the dots on the dice and use that. And then you would roll, and then you would get points. And we keep going back and forth until someone reaches 100 points.
The highest points.
Yeah. And then when you're
like
ready,
I was telling you earlier about this, it doesn't seem fair because if, especially if they have different, dice, and I have different dice, and I roll, a lot of numbers, they roll a lot of numbers, but their score is higher. It's not fair. Especially when I didn't have to, count each individual dot.
it's a game of chance, just like any other game. And now when your child's ready for 3-digit addition, you just add an extra die in, and you roll them, and then you add up the 3 numbers.
Oh, okay. That's really fun.
Now this is my favorite part, is when your child's ready for multiplication, you can roll them, and then you multiply the 2 numbers. So like a 3 and a 3, you multiply them. Now, these dice are just amazing. These are 12-sided dice I have right here. And you can practice all your multiplication facts all the way up to 12 by just rolling those 2 dice.
And where can you get these?
Okay,
because these are different.
These are different. And anything that I talk about in my books or in parent workshops, I have links on my website to stores that sell them. I don't sell them.
Teachingwithtlc.com.
Yes, .com. And I don't sell these products, but I want to show parents where they can get them if they're interested in them, because there's really neat products available if parents would just know about them and someone took time to explain them. But just this is so much more fun, drilling your math facts instead of doing the flashcard method.
Right.
And it's just
that is so typical.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and there's other games you can play with dominoes.
Yeah, we got the dominoes here. What can you do with dominoes?
Well, I just flip them upside down.
Okay.
And then I would choose a domino, and then so it would be like 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Okay.
And then my child would choose a domino, and we'd go back and forth until they're all gone.
Okay.
But what I want parents to realize is that we all need to take time to work with our child, and it can be fun, and it doesn't have to be just, you know, repetitious stuff.
Right.
And what I do with my family is I have a family game night, and one night a week we just play games. And it may be 15 minutes or 45 minutes, but
it's something that you all do and get involved in, and the kids are learning.
Right, and they look forward to it. If you say the words play or game, you've got your children hooked.
What if you have parents that are, you know, intimidated? You know, they weren't really good in math or spelling or whatever, and they're not really sure about how to go about helping their child. Right,
and that's why I have the newsletter available, and it's a free newsletter that goes out to parents, and I do many workshops on the newsletter to show parents. I'm trying to provide those ideas for parents when they are intimidated and they don't have the confidence, and I just want to motivate them and show them you can do this, and these are some ways that you can do this.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tamara, for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you really can